Next on Worcester News Tonight, the latest on the animal shelter in Paxton looking to rebuild after a devastating fire, and a special performance of A Christmas Carol at the Hanover Theater. Good evening, thanks for joining us. I'm Tim McCone. Paxton town officials discussing new guidelines for animal shelters after last month's deadly fire that killed dozens of pets. Arnie Madison spoke to the staff at Sweetpea Animal Shelter and has a look at their fight to get back their license.
At the Sweetpea Animal Shelter, the cleanup continues. Crews remove trees to prepare for demolishing this building.
It's a total loss from the fire, everything in there. So that way we can start all over and build a new shelter.
Almost a month after a fire killed more than 50 animals, the animal shelter is facing an uphill battle after its license was suspended.
I don't want to start doing any renovations in the boarding facility to make sure that when we do renovations to it, that we do it to the standards they want.
And those standards might change. Monday night, the Board of Selectmen discussed kennel guidelines and an application form for animal shelters to use. In a statement, Town Administrator Carol Riches said, quote, "The town will be looking to put forth a kennel regulations bylaw for acceptance by voters at the May annual town meeting. At this time, there are no such regulations in place from either the state or town that can be used to assist the animal control officer as he performs his inspections." Town officials also say they've asked Sweetpea to make 2 changes to the facility in order to get their license back. Changes the staff says they aren't aware of since they have yet to meet with the board.
It would be nice to know what those 2 things are, and I can't see how they can tell me what they want me to do if they've never even come in here and looked at the facility.
It could be a while before Sweetpea hears about the status of its license. As for the demolition, they expect that will take about a week to complete. Andy Madison, Worcester News Tonight.
In Worcester, police say a man threatened employees at a Dunkin Donuts with a knife, apparently because he was unsatisfied with his order. Police say 29-year-old Joseph Hannon entered this Lincoln Street location yesterday afternoon after placing his order in the drive-thru. Police say they soon located Hannon and found the knife. He also had a warrant out for his arrest. An airman was indicted yesterday in the hit-and-run deaths of 2 Worcester residents. 29-year-old Daniel Depew is accused of hitting Gina and George Burdick with his vehicle as they unloaded groceries from their car on Lincoln Street back in September. Both were killed. This is his 3rd offense of operating under the influence of alcohol. Depew has been held without bail since September 29th. He will be arraigned tomorrow. An accident on Salisbury Street in Worcester leaves 1 car overturned. It took place a little after 3 this afternoon. Police were on scene. No word yet, though, on the cause of the crash or the condition of anyone inside the vehicle. A sentencing date has been set for convicted teenage murderer Philip Chism. Chism will learn his punishment on January 29th. He was not in court for this morning's hearing. Last week, the 16-year-old was found guilty of raping and murdering his teacher, Assumption College graduate Colleen Ritzer, back in 2013. Chism faces life in prison. New data shows a change in school discipline enforcement has lowered the suspension rate in the city. Our Patricia Nicholas spoke with school officials today and has more.
Worcester Public School student suspension rates are down. 1,929 students were disciplined during the 2014-2015 school year, which is lower than the more than 2,600 from the previous year. South High Principal Maureen Beninda says it's due to Chapter 222, a new student discipline law.
What it wanted really to do is to keep kids in school, which is a really good idea, to keep them in school as much as possible because you really can't learn if you're at home. So it's more like progressive discipline.
With Chapter 222, when a student gets into trouble, he or she is removed from school for 2 days to allow the incident to be investigated. Parents are then called in for a discussion when a disciplinary decision is made.
During those 2 days, you take that time to really double check, triple check, make sure what happened, get all the facts together, and then the parent and the student comes back.
There has to be accountability, both from the principal, the student, and the family, in order for progress to be made relating to the academics of the child in addition to the behavior going forward.
But while there are pros to the new state law, administrators say there are also cons. When it comes to student assaults on employees, principals can only suspend for 90 days.
Student assault is that severe where somebody is hurt, that the principal should have the discretion to send that student for up to 1 year, as is current with the other offenses.
Patricia Nicholas, Worcester News Tonight.
Well, this year is the 8th annual performance of A Christmas Carol at the Hanover Theater, but this year also has a first. Tonight was the first autism-friendly performance of A Christmas Carol at the theater. The Hanover reached out to an organization called Autism Speaks about doing a show for the autistic community. 1,000 tickets were sold and 50% was given off. Adults and children were in attendance with their families. Tonight's show provided a friendly and safe environment for those with autism.
Everyone here tonight either has autism or supports someone with autism, so everyone else knows what each other's going through. Every person with autism is different, but in general, there are a lot of people with autism have sensory issues, whether it be light or sound. So they've diminished some of those things to kind of take away those obstacles. And but other than that, it's pretty much the same show. And I think if you watch the typical show and the autism-friendly show back to back, you really wouldn't notice any big difference.
As autism awareness grows, other venues have started offering these types of shows. And don't forget, you can tune in at 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve to catch a Worcester News Tonight Christmas special. And in that special, we'll have a behind-the-scenes look at A Christmas Carol at the Hanover Theater. Well, Chandler Elementary students got a chance to talk with Santa Claus today at Becker College. This is the third year the college has hosted kindergarten, first, and second grade students for the festive occasion. The students were able to do arts and crafts, play in the activity center, and of course meet Santa. Faculty and staff at Becker say community diversity and social responsibility are two of their core values. By having elementary students come to the campus, it gives them an opportunity to interact with the community.
Faculty and staff and students talk with them about, you can go to college as well when you get older, as long as you stay on track. And the more we expose them, the more opportunity they have to see that it's within their grasp.
We love Becker College!
The college says more than 350 students were in attendance today. The Webster Police Department pitching in to help families this holiday season. Today they handed out Christmas gifts they collected through Toys for Tots, all kinds of toys given to families with children under the age of 15. Families also had the option to pick up wrapping paper. They've been collecting the toys since November. The toys will be handed out today and tomorrow in the community room at the police department.
We try to give back to the community, and this is a great thing. It's a great partnership that we have with the town, and it's really a nice chance to do some good and to help some people out that really could use it and appreciate it.
Some good news for skaters in the city. The city manager's office announcing Tuesday that the Worcester Common Oval Rink will be open during school vacation week. The Oval will be open from noon to 5 Monday through Thursday next week and from noon to 8 on New Year's Day. Skating is also free on New Year's Eve with the purchase of a first night button, and free on New Year's Day, compliments of Hanover Insurance. The city will also hold a skate swap on Wednesday, December 30th. Well, the newest journalism star is right in our backyard, and she's only in 3rd grade. Our Olivia Lyman caught up with her and has more.
I already decided that I want to go to Harvard.
At just 8 years old, Shayna Rose is very ambitious. The 3rd grader at Woodward Memorial School in Southborough has her own weekly newspaper, The Rose Reporter. Shayna says she started the paper after her teachers told her she needed to interact more with students at recess.
I started a book club, but of course no one wanted to do that at recess. And so then my mom said interviewing my classmates at recess, and so then at recess I started interviewing my friends, and then it went from one page to all these great things.
Great things like interviews with Patriots tight end Rob Gronkowski, Governor Charlie Baker, even presidential candidates Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump.
They were all super cool. They were all just so great, and they all were so nice. I just can't pick a coolest.
Shayna's parents help her type and print the paper. They also have a Facebook page, The Rose Reporter. They say the newspaper has really allowed her to bond with her classmates.
they all want to help her, and they like being in the paper, and they like all the different questions.
Admittedly, her father, Chris Rose, says getting to meet all of the people Shayna interviews is an added bonus.
It's just really cool to see it from her eyes, because she just, when she meets Donald Trump or anyone, like, she's not even the slightest bit in awe. She's like, oh, okay, so this is him. Let me ask him some questions. And she has no intimidation.
But when asked if she wants to be a reporter when she grows up, Shayna was quick to answer.
No, I want to be a hedge fund manager.
But until that happens, Shayna says she'll keep writing. Olivia Lemon,